Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fetch Quest podcast, where we talk about video games and more. I'm your host, Guy, joined by my fellow co-host, Brewer,
Hey, everybody.
Liam,
Hello.
and Connor.
Hey guys, haven't seen you in a bit. How you been?
Good. Sorry, Connor, we gotta address the elephant in the room.
Yeah, Liam and I are back together.
Oh no, you gotta be kidding.
No, I meant the giant penis Connor is building.
Yeah, that's the big thing we got to talk about here. Yeah.
Okay, Brewer, what's wrong with the PP?
Why are you building it?
Because I can. I can do anything.
Wait, so how can we do that?
Oh, simple. Explore a dungeon underground, awaken an ancient evil, lose your arm, and then have a dead goat king possess your new arm. It's a really simple process.
What?
Yeah, it's really simple. All you guys got to do is go to Hyrule Castle. It'll be easy.
Brother, that does not sound easy.
Just like the game we're talking about, Tears of the Kingdom.
What?
Whoa!
Whoa.
That's a game I've played.
That is
Really?
kind of awesome.
I think that's a game I've
It's a pretty
played as
good
well.
Guys,
It's
I
a
have,
pretty
to,
good game.
I have to confess something. I've also played Tears of the Kingdom.
Wait, have we all
Whoa,
played
that's
this
crazy.
game?
I think we've all potentially played Tears of the Kingdom.
That's crazy. It's
Well-
so niche. Usually, most of the Zelda games people play are like the CDI ones, like Wanda Gamelon.
Exactly.
Great game.
Not Tears of the Kingdom.
That is one of my favorite games.
I know, right? It's fantastic.
Okay, unironically, Connor, before getting into the video, I do want to say this. Connor, you have more than just played this game. You have, gotten everything done, right?
I have 100%ed it, yes.
You poor soul.
Yeah, so...
You
If
know
that's-
that chained up Goku image? That was Connor the weeks when Tears of the Kingdom came out.
I shit you not. It took me until... The game came out in, May, right?
Yes. May of
It took
2023.
me- I'm pretty sure it took me until September to 100% it.
That's crazy.
How much total playtime did you have? 150 hours or something?
Here, let me... While you guys keep going,
It's
I'll boot up...
300, right?
I can boot up my Switch right now and check.
Yeah, while that's happening, Guy, do you want to get into a quick synopsis of Tears of the Kingdom?
Oh, yes, please. Tears of the Kingdom is the newest Zelda game, actually, that is a lie. It is not the newest Zelda game, because, we have Age of Imprisonment and Echoes of Wisdom. Sorry, let me be more specific. It is the newest 3D 3D mainline Zelda game, where Tears of the Kingdom is a sequel to the very successful Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch. It implements some of the same elements of the game, some of the same physics systems, but does it in a new light with a different power system, different mechanics, new dungeons, new story. It is basically the sequel to Breath of the Wild that a lot of people were excited for, me included, where Link has to save Hyrule again from the clutches of Ganondorf and an ancient mystery. And to uncover that, we have to go around the region, find out why there are so many floating islands, and save Princess Zelda. Hooray!
Yeah.
Right.
Now that you say it, though, the hype for this game was unreal. I remember, this whole group, we all were going crazy for it in some way.
Oh, yeah,
I think we all played it the day it came out.
Yeah.
I did.
I
Also,
played it the minute it came out, actually. The second it came out, I played it and then immediately went and played it until a very unhealthy amount of time.
Yeah, didn't we all do the midnight release?
Yes.
I think so. Also, to answer the question, in order for me to 100% the game, it took me 400 hours.
Oh my god!
Dang.
That is insane.
Oh my god.
Okay, so my estimate was just like a little off, guys.
To be for technicality, it's 395, but that's basically 400 at that point.
Yeah, I would not blame you for just calling
Especially
it
for when you had to
400.
pause the game and like look up a guide for like Korok seeds or something.
Part of the reason it took so long, and I remember this, is that actually, was that Breath of the Wild? That might have been Breath of the Wild, actually.
He spent
both
so
long
much time
games,
in both
man.
of the games. He's lost now.
He's a shell of his former self. He's Frodo at the end of the Lord of the Rings.
I'm gonna pretend I understand that reference.
Watch that movie. Oh my god, watch that trilogy. It's so good.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the reason I had decided to 100% the game is because for Breath of the Wild, I had done the same thing. And, you know, I'll reiterate this story because our Breath of the Wild episode was like, what, like episode number like 8 or 9 of our channel.
Yeah, it was actually a fairly early one.
Yeah, it was an early video. But in order for me to 100% Breath of the Wild, I had to do 3 different playthroughs because every time something would happen that would make it, let's just say, very, very near impossible for me to actually like 100% it.
Basically, he's a quitter.
That is
Until he wasn't. I'm kidding.
That is
I'm kidding.
such a that is such just a mind-boggling amount of time to put into a single-player game. Like,
Yeah.
well, especially for like one completionist playthrough. Like, it's one thing if you're like, oh yeah, I've played this game like 5 times. No, that was just for getting 100% in the game.
Blame the fact
Yeah,
that
no,
they
that is a little
added,
crazy.
like, blame the fact they added like I think 300 more Koroks.
It was only 100. It was only
Oh, okay.
100.
Okay, I couldn't
Yeah.
remember if it was 100 or like more.
Yeah,
I was
just so
gonna
you
say, I
get
know
a
it's not
big
bad.
stinking pile of shit.
It's so funny, man. It's such a good joke.
Yes, it is.
Ah, man.
I think it's hilarious. But yeah, no. The reason why we bring up Breath of the Wild is because this game, surprise, surprise, is very similar to it. Who would have thought?
You know what? Maybe that's why I forgot which game I was talking about that I got stuck on.
Yeah, you
that's fair.
spent so much time in the time chamber with both of them.
Exactly.
What if Connor was locked in the hyperbolic time chamber with nothing but Tears of the Kingdom, and all of his limbs were cut off, and he was sick, and he was up against Naruto? Please tell me y'all know what reference I'm making.
Yeah, I know.
I
what you're
have a
referencing.
feeling. I think I know what you're referencing. But yeah, no, this game is that's a topic we're gonna get into later. I think now we should talk about sort of the gameplay and you know what that all encompasses.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
of course. There's
So-
a lot to cover here.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the game before this, Breath of the Wild, and this game, like, kind of defined open world exploration games for a lot of people, so
Yeah,
there's
so
a lot to unpack here.
yeah, so you know, I guess to start combat, you know, you've got your main weaponry, which I actually really like that you have like 3 different classes of weapons in both of the games. Well, I guess 4 if you count the bows, but like melee weapons, you've got 3. You've got the regular swords, the spears, and the I guess like heavy weapons.
Yeah, like heavy swords and stuff.
Yeah. And you know, you attack with Y, block with I think it's like ZL.
ZL.
Yeah,
The
ZL.
left trigger, yeah. Yeah.
And then the fun part is the is it called like the perfect dodge or
Yeah, I actually don't know what it's called.
It's like a
but
perfect
it's
dodge, and then you can do a flurry rush into the
Yeah.
enemies.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the
that's
fun
like
part
the
of
basic
combat.
meat of the combat. Just like nothing around, just you and an enemy. They're swinging at you. You're using your basic weapons. Like that's the basic part of the combat.
Now you can
But
do
it's not what makes it fun though.
you can do a lot of funny stuff with some of the new mechanics in the game. Particularly the fuse mechanic, which is that we'll talk about that one first since it ties most heavily into like the gameplay, where you can fuse different items and stuff onto your weapons to make them stronger. And I don't think there's like an actual like limit of to what you can fuse. So you can put like 2 claymores on top of like fuse them and to have a giant claymore, and it's really funny.
Yeah, the only thing I think you can't fuse is like obviously key items and just an already fused item itself. So
Yeah.
the 2 claymores fused to each other, you cannot fuse them to another 2 claymores to make a 4 claymore single sword.
And then a 4 into an 8, and then an 8 into a 16.
But you can fuse almost anything in the game into something. You can fuse poop or like jelly. You can fuse raw meat. You can fuse chill raw meat. Like if you think of something, you can fuse it to something. Basically, if it's like
Yeah.
if it's in the game, it can be fused to something. As something as simple as a rock to something as like complex as deer antler. I don't know. I blanked.
I think either way, one thing to mention is this isn't just for like stats and stuff, because obviously then you wouldn't fuse the meat to the sword. You would just keep fusing like stronger materials to the sword. There's also different properties with a lot of these things you're fusing, which keep in mind is for like hundreds of items in the game, which is absolutely insane. So like if I fuse a piece of meat to the sword, I can throw that sword down, so an enemy that's interested in the meat goes up to it, and then I can jump them. That, or I can attach like, let's say like one of the elemental stones or like elemental jellies like fire to the sword, and when I swing that sword, a big explosion of fire will happen.
Kaboom!
Yeah,
there are a lot of
there's
applications.
different applications. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, you can do it to your shields. You can't. You can technically do it to your arrows. You can't do it to your bows, which makes sense. But like, you can fuse stuff to your arrows, and they're completely different applications. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone's favorite, but my personal favorite is Keyside balls. If you fuse Keyside balls to arrows, it'll track the nearest hittable thing, and it is awesome.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely one of the more useful ones.
Me using the key balls for aimbot.
Dude, that's what I did against like Gleox and whatnot.
It is really funny.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
there's just a lot, and not only for like a combat, but also just like in normal gameplay. Like my brother recently, he's 9 years old for context. He's playing through Tears of the Kingdom for the first time. This is his first Zelda game, and he's going through I'm pretty sure it's the Hebra region, the very very cold area. And of course, if you don't provide yourself warmth, then Link's going to just take continuous damage. He found a way to save himself some rupees from, instead of buying like really expensive cold resistant armor, he just fused a ruby to his shield, which gave the heat property if he had that shield equipped, and just used that. I was like, that's so smart.
Yeah. Which you could have some of that stuff in like Breath of the Wild as well, like hold the fire weapon while in the cold region to like help with that. And I think the crazy thing is with like Breath of the Wild, people thought at the time of like how insane it was, all the different ways you could mess with the systems in the game, which they just expanded upon even more so with Tears of the Kingdom to levels which we can't even imagine, because that simple interaction of like put a hot sword on your back to keep yourself warm, like I just mentioned with the ruby to the shield, you can do that with so many different weapons, items in the game. Not to mention all the different things you can build now as well.
That's it's epic sauce.
It is epic sauce, and that just you first.
No, actually, you're probably leading more into what I want to say, anyways.
I was just gonna say, like, I think I think because of how expressive it is, no one plays the game the exact same. There will never be the same exact playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom just because of how much stuff you can do in terms of fuse and other things. Hell, that's only just one power. We haven't even talked about the other three.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
I mean,
was
there's definitely more viable strategies than others. Like the Keys eyeballs are gonna work a hell of a lot better than you than tying some flowers to the arrow. But
yeah, I was gonna say that like it's very much a preference. Like you can, there are things that are stronger, things that are like a lot more simple, but some people will gravitate towards one thing. It's like I loved the wings and attaching them to arrows and absolutely sniping the, like all of like entire enemy camps. I would put on the wings and just start trying to like snipe them, and I had a lot of fun with that. But I didn't really use like the Keys eyeballs that much because I enjoyed doing the gyro aiming. I really enjoyed that. So like that was a personal experience, but everybody plays the game vastly different, and it's very cool.
oh yeah, definitely.
I completely forgot the wings do that. That's so cool. I forgot they make your arrow travel so much more.
That kind of reminds me of just like Legends Arceus, like sniping some Pokemon from like miles away with like the light Pokeballs.
Yeah, or with the what are the jet ones?
Yeah, yeah.
Jet
like the
balls,
blue-
yes, I know what you're talking about. Those are fun. Those are really fun.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, like that's the thing that like I'm glad Brewer mentioned this. Like the not so much Tears of the Kingdom because it is like a sequel, but like Breath of the Wild was such a defining like game because like a lot of games turned open world after this, but like it's because of just how much freedom the game allows for the players. And the thing is, Tears of the Kingdom just finds a way to make it more freeing. Like I know one of the most freeing things about this game is one of the powers, Ultra Hand. Oh my god.
Ultra Hand is absolutely insane.
I love it. That the in the intro, the penis that we made because of Ultra Hand, which is kind of funny now thinking about it because that implies something, but I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, no, about all the new powers you get in Tears of the Kingdom are kind of just better versions than Breath of the Wild's. Like, you could definitely argue there are some more like niche applications for Breath of the Wild's abilities that could be more helpful sometimes. But for the most part, Tears of the Kingdom's abilities have so much more that you can work with. Like,
Very
oh, instead of magnetism, which you can only lift metal objects, you can just lift anything now.
Yeah, it's a real upgrade, and that is one thing I do really like is that the I guess evolution is the would be a better like the best word for it. It's like how they take the concepts from the previous game and really evolve them, because there is a fair argument that this game with its new things is a lot more of like a sandbox game than even an open world game.
Oh yeah, now we did talk about that in our sandbox episode with like Breath of the Wild. Like both of these games very much are sandbox games as well.
Yeah, but I think this is a very different level of sandbox game because it was very much created with you are going to be spending hours on like different contraptions, where in like Breath of the Wild you could make interesting things, but they were more so like how do you affect the environment. This is creating something out of like a bunch of small parts and creating something. You could make something massive, you can make something very technical. Like it's kind of like Redstone in Minecraft, where you can get insanely complicated with it, and so many things have applications that aren't easily identifiable.
Yeah, no, I remember like I think in the first couple months the game came out, like someone built a giant Godzilla in the game.
Yeah, I remember seeing like a giant mecha.
Yeah, and it's not even just like, oh, that's something that took them a while in the game, but like it'll despawn later. Like, no, they can just resummon that thing whenever they want as long as they have the resources. That's
Yeah.
just something you can
Awesome.
do.
No. I still see like a lot of fun builds in Tears of the Kingdom. Like I see like unique flying machines. I see recreations of like popular car models, popular like monsters even. So it's some really fun stuff. I love the Gundams that people have made. I think those are so much fun. For the joints, they use cooking pots for the joints, which I think is so cool.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love like how over time, like it was legit like an industrial revolution where it would just constantly keep getting innovated on.
There
Yeah,
were
because
entire
like
YouTube channels that were dedicating their entire schedule to just posting clips about people making new shit. It was awesome.
yeah, no, because it's crazy too. Because it's just it doesn't ever feel like there's a limit with this game. Because like we mentioned, you can do some really simple combat. You can just attack the enemies with your sword, dodge, and flurry rush, or you can make some giant death contraption that rows them all up and puts them into like a meat grinder or something.
Dude, real. Dude, you can make like a giant penis with lasers coming out of it, and it will work. It will just work. Everything goes back to penises, I swear.
I think you just make everything about penises.
I was about to say, Guy, I think that says a lot more about you than anything else.
You know what? Fair enough. Liam and I are back together now, so that just makes sense.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. No, there like I've seen people. I saw someone make an X-wing from Star Wars, and that was really cool. Like there's stuff that's like super simple, like that everyone can do, but then some people love just pushing the entire like the game engine to its limit in terms of like making creations, and I think it's so cool. It's probably the coolest aspect about the game is just the sheer sandbox element of it. Because we didn't even really talk about like how the sandbox works, but like just as a sandbox, it is amazing.
Me
Yeah.
making
You
a
wanna
Death
go
Star
into
to
that?
destroy all the Koroks.
Me creating a Korok torture chamber.
I think that was the first thing I saw. Someone putting like a Korok on a cross that was burning.
One of the
Yeah,
first
no, I
things
saw him on a
saw
crucifix, which was awesome.
I
I
saw
remember one of
crucifix,
the
Koroks, and giant giant wood man with a big penis. Those were the two first things I saw.
Oh, I remember that. It was awesome.
I remember one of the first things Brewer did was waterboard a Korok.
I did do that,
Shout out
and it
to
was hilarious.
shout out to a very early Fetch Quest thing. Holy god.
Yeah, well, like it wasn't even intentional. It was just like I made a really shitty boat, and I was like, "Huh, this is a really shitty boat," which means I can do something really shitty to this Korok that's annoying me. It's like, yes,
Yeah, you
Korok, I
just
will
attached
transport
it
you
to it.
five miles across this lake, and then I put him under the boat.
That was so evil, dude.
It's that one like Garfield gif where like they open the trash can and stuff like that. It's like Brewer opening the trash can and seeing the dead Korok.
True.
Yeah, I would do it again. By the way, just want to put that out there. No
Or you
regrets.
would 100%.
No
But yeah,
regrets.
no. There were Koroks harmed in the making of this episode of Fetch Quest.
I just remember
But,
that was a big trend when the game first came out, like people just posting their war crimes on Koroks.
As they should.
Hey, thanks for
Like,
saving me. Here's a steaming pile of shit.
Yeah, they
Ooh,
just-
wait. Okay, and then as soon as you see one, you saw the horror stories that were Korok seeds coming back. That's immediately when you're like, okay, time to set you on fire, electrocute you, start throwing you up and down. Like it was. I love seeing how creative people are in this game.
You know, I could get like Ganondorf's energy like sucking away all like Link's powers and stuff. Sort of like, you know, what Metroid does. They give you a lot of power at the beginning and take it away to show you like where you can go. But why'd you have to take away my inventory slots, man? Like those, I just those were nice to have.
They were nice, which is why it's so unfortunate. I will say this. I do remember the copium that was, oh, Koroks are back. That means there's got to be a reward for getting all of them, right? Or at least a proper one.
No.
Poor Connor.
Just-
He's part of the small minority that collected all the Korok shit just to get nothing.
Oh, I knew there wasn't gonna be anything. I knew from this first Korok I got, the reward was gonna be Another giant piece of shit. I knew it was.
And yet you
no, I'm
went
gonna
for
be
it.
honest. They had me for a second. I was like, okay, they're not gonna do it again. And then I very quickly found out that they were just going to do it again.
Hey, they reused a lot of the map. They would reuse the same funny joke.
It's true.
Damn straight, and they did.
The developers
That was
torturing
very
Connor
sad.
because they're bored.
True. But now, I think we should talk about something that the game definitely improved on, and that is the main dungeons.
Oh my lord, yes.
Yeah, one problem I do have with Breath of the Wild, especially after playing a bunch of other Zelda games, the the divine beasts are
They're a mixed bag.
yeah, they're
Not
a
even
mixed
like the
bag.
worst.
Well, they're not. I'm not saying they're the worst. I'm just saying they're definitely missing some potential. There's some stuff they could definitely.
Potential,
Triggered.
man.
I triggered guys' brain rot, brain
That
cells.
is like a vocal stem. Just anytime the word potential is brought up, I immediately think of the Immortal from Invincible and go potential, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to lobotomize you if you aren't already.
Oh, I've already done the bottom most, don't worry.
But something that I absolutely love is that this game it heavily improves upon the dungeon design, and all the dungeons are like just so good. My favorite being the is it the Wind Temple? Is that what they call it?
Sidon one.
I said the
Fishman.
Wind Temple.
I thought it was gonna be the Sidon one.
It's up there.
I'd hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Connor's kind of thirsty for Sidon.
He
Which
can
is good
provide
because he's a
it.
fishman.
Guys, I was about to say I think it's him because he's literally a fish.
True. Yeah, no, you have the Wind Temple, you have the Fire Temple, you have the Water Temple, and then you have the Lightning Temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, very creative names.
Oh, but then you do have the secret fifth one, but that one I actually forget what the name is called because I'm gonna be real, I kind of forgot.
Well, we won't mention it for spoilers for now.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Um.
I will
yeah,
say this right now, though. One real quick thing, which I think is funny. I did the secret one. Like in the story, you're supposed to do the fifth one last because that's when it like opens up to you on the map. I just went exploring in that area and I found it like out of nowhere.
I think I know which
And it
one
was-
you're talking about. It's is it underground?
Yes.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me.
Oh,
Yeah, I did it out of order and it was so funny.
I'm pretty sure. I know what it's. I know which one it is, but you said don't do it for spoilers, so I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can mention it later in a little spoiler
Yes.
section.
But the temples of this game are plainly just a lot better.
Yeah, I still don't think they reached the same level as some of the like previous Zelda dungeons in the series, but they are definitely a big step up from Breath of the Wild.
I don't. It's because the other games have a lot heavier focus on them than this one does. This one does like in the other ones, going to each of the dungeons is like in this game it's important, but the other dungeons in the other Zelda games are required. These ones are technically optional.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but the design of them isn't like as clean as like temples from like Wind Waker or Skyward Sword. God.
Oh yeah.
No, but Zelda has always been known as like having really, really good dungeons. So it was nice to see a good change from Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom being more of an emphasis on dungeons and like having unique mechanics and unique bosses too, where each of the bosses in these dungeons were different. And
Oh
not
yeah, no, the
just
bosses are so much better than
same-
the fucking blights.
Oh,
same boss with a different font 4 times or 5 times.
They're also just better. Like, I'll be real. They're much better boss fights.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the bosses in general in Tears of the Kingdom were a big step up.
Yeah, no, that's definitely another big thing that I love. Is my favorite one is definitely
Colgera.
yeah. That, I was like, I know it's a Wind Waker reference, but I can't remember its name. But yeah, no,
Wait.
I love that, especially because it plays the theme from the the actual like it's either the Wind Waker main theme or like the theme of the original fight.
I think it's a callback to one of the older games, which they do have a lot of callbacks in this game as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I know it's a You first.
I'm pretty sure like at least 2 of the main bosses are callbacks to previous games. I know that much.
Isn't one of them like a callback to Goma from Ocarina of Time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
okay,
some
that's what I thought.
callback, other times they do just reuse a lot of the same enemies sometimes.
In
It's worth, trust.
in Wind Waker, there's Molgera, which is the Wind Temple boss, if I remember correctly.
Colgera, yeah.
No, in Wind Waker, it's Molgera.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom, it is Colgera.
Yeah, Colgera.
So it is, I think, just one letter off of
Wind Waker. Let me
Wind
copy your
Waker.
homework. Sure, just
Exactly.
change it up a little so they don't notice.
And it does have the theme to Dragon Roost Island.
Oh, it is Dragon Roost. I remember people talking about that when the game first came out.
And I think also Rito Village.
Yeah.
That makes sense, because that's when we first see the Rito in the whole series. So yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, but it
Either
is
way,
good
I think
boss.
getting back to the dungeons, they do change it up from Breath of the Wild, but one philosophy they've still been trying to keep with a lot of the newer games, which includes like Echoes of Wisdom with the dungeons, is making them a lot more open-ended to how you want to explore them instead of having like more set paths. Like you will find key here, you have to go there. Here you can there's usually a lot of different paths you're open to, because most of these dungeons follow like a somewhat of a similar template of like there's a bunch of puzzles around that you have to solve, and there's like 4 thingies. Like it changes for each one, but it's like 4 thingies you have to activate to get to the main end part of the dungeon where you can fight the boss.
Yeah, no, it's just much better. I'm thinking about it now. Like the Tears of the Kingdom dungeons compared to Breath of the Wild, they just mog them. Like I'm thinking like the colors, the puzzles, like the uniqueness of them. It's so much better.
I do agree. I also just think they have more unique boss fights too, where like even like the overworld bosses, like in Breath of the Wild, there was the Talus, the Hinox, the Staunox, and the Blights.
If we're just considering like the main bosses, definitely, because like
I don't think there were there were a lot of bosses, but they're like this game just, I think due to having a larger size, was more. Oh, and Molduga. I forgot about Molduga. Has more variety in their design of bosses because they also needed to have different variants of each bosses because of the fuse mechanic.
Yeah,
But
well,
like-
I think beyond the overworld bosses, like I think the thing that rubbed people the wrong way the most about like the main dungeon bosses is like, especially in Breath of the Wild, these are the main dungeon bosses. Like this is like supposed to be a big challenge, like big climax moment, but like no, it's just another blight. That's why people receive Tears of the Kingdom
It's-
way better.
It's a thing of Zelda games have always kind of gone with you get new ability of some sort and you use that new ability to fight this new boss, and a good amount of the time you also have to use your past abilities to also fight this boss. And
yeah,
even though this isn't the same because you have most of Link's kit from from like the first 5 hours of the game, you'll have most of what Link will get besides the sages. but the sages are very. The sages aren't niche, but they're very weird in this game.
They're not
that's something I will not get into because but they do work for the dungeons because you do use them in the dungeons themselves, and I think that is a cool aspect of the story bosses in this game, because in Breath of the Wild you got the ability after defeating the dungeon, and this one you got it beforehand most of the time. If I think I'm remembering that right. Yes.
Yeah, that's how it worked. You'd get Rivali's. I was about to say Regali. Rivali's Gale after doing the dungeon, which sucks because that is actually such a cool ability that just isn't used for any dungeons or anything.
Well, yeah, and that's something that I'm kind of mixed on, because on one hand, I think the implementation of the abilities is overall better, but I think the abilities from Breath of the Wild are definitely better. Like, they're just a lot more, you can use them in a lot more situations,
and frankly they're more fun.
Yeah.
And that's what's important.
I think the thing is, with a lot of those abilities, like, there are definitely replacements for them in Tears of the Kingdom in some ways. Like Rivali's Gale, there are so many ways you can like gain elevation really quickly with some stuff you can construct, but at the same time, just like jumping and holding X is still going to be a lot quicker and easier, which is why they're still like a bit missed, you know?
Yeah.
Say people love Rivali's Gale for a reason. I love it. It's the best ability in that game for a reason.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh yeah. You first, Connor.
Well, I was gonna say, and I just think, I think they wanted to, because like, you could definitely make an argument that those abilities are like, they are so good that like, some of them you kind of like immediately need to get. Like Rivali's Gale is so good early game when you don't have a lot of stamina. And it's like,
Well, let's say if you're replaying the game, which I do, but like for first playthrough, I think it's fine.
oh no, for a first playthrough it's fine, but like, I think they wanted to avoid having like one that was like so good that like you had to keep using it, you know? Like
I'm gonna be real. I think the Wind Sage's ability is really good. I think it's the best one. I'll be real.
I mean, it's definitely the best one, but it's still nowhere near as good as Rivali's Gale, or even like, it's definitely better than Daruk's ability from Breath of the Wild.
Shout out to Rivali and Tulin, my favorite flying type Pokemon.
So true. But
This is true.
yeah, no. I just think overall the abilities, while implemented better, are just overall worse.
Yeah,
But-
it's. I also will. You first, Liam.
You were already talking. Go for it.
I will say this, like, I do think the abilities are a little worse, and also, like, I'll be real, I just don't think they're implemented, like the way you use them, I think is way worse compared to Breath of the Wild. It's like,
Oh,
that
yeah,
is one
it's
thing I
super
will give.
clunky. It is super clunky.
I don't
Like,
know.
it-
Like, I think. Sorry, you go first.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, it's cool. I really like that I gain the powers of the sages, and I think in the dungeons, it's fine, because, like, they're NPCs going with you, and they haven't given you your powers yet. But I wish, like, they were just tied to, like, some sort of, like, button command, like how they were in Breath of the Wild. Like, even though they were simple button commands, they still worked really well, and it wasn't intrusive. I'm being so honest. Once I got the Wind Temple out of the way, there were so many times where I'd fight enemies and try to collect their parts, but when I mash A, Tulin's ability would activate, blowing away all of my materials. Some
Oh,
retrievable,
yeah.
some not, and that blows because they have to know that, like, when people are collecting materials like that, a lot of the times they're mashing A because of sometimes, frankly, just how much of in abundance some items are. So it was really, like, weird to me to see, like, such a weird disconnect here. I think it would have been better if, like, they had, like, I don't know, because all buttons are technically used in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So I don't know how they could implement that. Maybe with D-pad, but even then, it might be a little
I think,
finicky.
yeah, no, D-pad. Like, the D-pad I don't think it gets used at all. So I don't think basically just.
No. It does though because of weapon switching.
Well, they could find some different ways to implement it.
Well,
Either
it could've been
way,
like-
just it's a bit weird having all those sages fight with you all the time as well, because it does kind of just trivialize a lot of battles. Like you can already make these crazy constructs, and then on top of that, you already have an army of these soldiers fighting next to you as well.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like it makes it feel like I'm gaining a party, but it's also like sometimes these AI are making me little angry because I want to do things, but they don't want to make me do things, and it makes me angry.
A lot of times, I'm gonna be honest, I just did turn them off because, especially while I was exploring, it was just kind of annoying having like that many characters running around on screen.
Oh, I never used the Sidon or the Lightning Girl. I only used Unobo to dig, and Tulin was like the most useful one, of course. But as soon as I was done, I would just turn them off because I didn't want them running around. I don't get what the thought process behind the change and turning them from abilities that you just have to hold something else into like a hold a different button or like an auto ability into you've got to get the AI close enough to you to press it once to activate their activation and then activate the ability. It's so inconvenient. It's just frankly poorly designed, and most of the time it's more trouble than it's worth.
That's just true. Like,
Yeah.
like there are a lot of times, like especially after the water dungeon, because Sidon's ability buffs your next attack to do like a giant swoop, and I think that's a cool idea, especially for like combat and the applications of that, especially with some of the abilities of Zora weapons. But when I wanted to do it, he would just go fuck off, try to fight something else. I would have to run all the way to him, activate it, but by the time I'm there, the enemy that is fighting is at like half HP, so it's like, well, there goes that, I guess.
Yeah, I would try to do the same
quicker
with
to just do it
Tolan
normal.
sometimes for like some puzzles or something, or just like blow like some bombs or something into an enemy to like try to be creative with how I'm attacking with my environment. And he would just go run away. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Get back here before I turn you into fried chicken.
Yeah, it's so obnoxious. I really just don't. I don't get the like. It's like Liam said. I don't get the thought process of like, why would you make this big of a change?
Yes, but enough. I think that's enough. Not nitpicking, but that's enough. Debbie Downers from us. I think we should move on to the great part about this game, which is the world, the new parts of the world, and the exploration of said world.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot to unpack now.
Because
with
this
the world.
game, if you were not aware, if you thought the Breath of the Wild map was big, it is essentially the same map, but a lot has changed, plus an entire underground section, which has some fun things. I'm not the I'm not the one. I am not the one to talk about the underground because it is my least favorite area. And the Sky Islands, which are like more sparse in the air, but they have some awesome puzzles, some fun lore, and they're just really cool to like fly up into the sky and see this either like arena or giant ball, because they do have that. Like it's cool to see. I love the Sky Islands a lot. Not the underground, but so someone else can talk about the underground, not me.
Not Liam.
Me
I'll
throwing
do it.
Liam into the underground because I'm bored.
I will do it.
I'd pull all of you in there with me, and we'd all have to go from light route to light route so that we can see anything.
Yeah, I'll talk about the underground to save Liam from the trauma. So
Connor's done everything.
Yeah, let's go, Connor. He knows everything about this game.
no. So as Liam said, main map, It's pretty much the same. There's a few changes here and there, but it's overall the same. Um, but the underground is very expansive. It's got really cool enemies. Like you've got a bunch of undead enemies. You've got um, like the boss refights. There's a lot of like cool stuff like down there. You can find these giant leviathan skeletons that go on for miles. Um, and there's just a lot of cool stuff down there. The only problem is that you can't see any of it because it's dark.
There's just there's not a lot of stuff. Like there is cool stuff down there, don't get me wrong, but it's also like compared to the
Very sparse out.
compared to like some of the stuff in the overworld. Ugh.
Yeah, it's also very like vertical, whereas the overworld, the surface is like flat. The underground is full of giant like cliffs and dips, and so you're constantly having to like
Well, you know why that is, right?
enlighten me.
So the topography of the Underdark is the exact same as the overworld, but it's just flipped.
Yeah, I actually remember
Yes,
that.
every single river is now like a giant wall. Every mountain is now a large valley, vice versa. Like it's cool. It's cool to see like the map and realize that it is like the inverse. But I will be honest, it makes the exploration of the Underdark awful.
Yeah,
Especially the walls of the rivers, especially, are like the things that piss me off so much. Because I'm like, oh, I've been here in the overground. In the overworld. Let's see what's under here. Ha 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 ha. And then you like get just giant wall like in the distance, and you're like, oh, okay. And then to access that part of the Underdark, you have to go onto the overworld and then find a way to get down there from there. It's just annoying.
yeah, it's really annoying. Like combining the annoying enemies which will inflict a blight upon you, which if you get hit with blight you lose max health until you get into like a light source, in which case it will slowly regen, um, which is very annoying. The terrain, which is very annoying to traverse, and then the um, just the fact you can't see anything makes it all incredibly tedious to explore.
Yeah, I will say with the underground, I feel like it was never they never meant for it to be like a big main area, which is probably why they also didn't advertise it too much, because I always just saw it as like, okay, when I need more Zonai materials, I go down here to grind them by fighting random enemies and
Yeah,
exploring random parts of it.
that's sadly the most use you get out of it. The only
There's a couple cool things you can find down there, but they're usually tied to like stuff in the main story.
the only other thing you really ever go down there for is to find the purified weapons.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, yeah, that's also just
Even then, it's not even worth it.
it is also just it is cool. We didn't even like talk about like that lore, so I'm just gonna do it real quick. In order to make the fuse mechanic basically necessary, the Demon King put like a disease that affected all the weapons called gloom, so they're all like destroyed and like gross and like decaying. And so the only way to like restore their, I guess, lethality is to fuse them. And it's a very like cool in-lore reason for why like fusing is optimal. But in the Underdark, where all the like some of the weapons fell into the Underdark in a pristine condition, so it's just cool lore, cool little lore tidbit.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did throw with
I love
lore
lore.
in like a couple areas with this game, especially like a lot of its connections to Breath of the Wild, but they did some cool stuff with other parts of it.
My favorite piece of lore, the Sheikah towers disappeared. The Guardians
Yeah, and the Guardians.
disappeared.
The Divine Beast.
Disappeared. That's great world building. They were just gone.
Me and
Any
Liam,
mention of Breath of the Wild story disappeared.
me and Liam have completely. We have gone over this point so many times because it's so fucking stupid and such missed potential.
Yeah, they just get Thanos snapped away, and it's like, just why?
The creator of the game just goes, yeah, they disappeared. They're gone. And
They took a vacation.
I just think they kind of forgot about it when they were making Tears of the Kingdom, and they realized that they had to have an in-lore reason. So instead of thinking of something clever, they just went, nah, they're gone. They dipped.
Yeah, like I could get maybe like the Guardians and maybe even the Divine Beast. Like, okay, they did maybe like dismantled them just after everything that happened. But like, the fuck did the shrines do?
They're trying to use that Sheikah technology, dude. Which, I mean, okay, it makes sense, because, like, when we're in Tears of the Kingdom, it takes place, I want to say, like, 5 or 6 years after Breath of the Wild, when Hyrule is still kind of rebuilding from the 100-year calamity. Which is cool. You do see that in the world.
All these people just trying to recover, and then Ganondorf supplying his pussy stank to the world.
True.
Please get rotted by my pussy stank.
Great callback, thank you.
You're welcome, guy.
Imagine you're just trying to hunt, like just get some food for your family, which is like really hard to come by and all that, just because of like all the war and stuff. There's like probably a famine going on, and then your bow breaks just because fucking corpse hundreds of feet down in the dirt went like rah. I'm angry.
Oh, I'm so angry. Ah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my stink vapors to stop you.
Yeah. I will say with the story, like just in general for this game, like as much as I do like Nintendo's focus on like gameplay over story as a focus, I do wish sometimes they would try to think about the story just a little bit more. Because like, hey, all the gameplay mechanics, yeah, these are really fun. It's really cool.
Well, the
I
thing
would
that upsets
still
me
love these cool characters had a cooler story to tie into.
the thing is, like with me, is that I just hate the missed potential of the fucking world building. Because the Zelda games have had some of the best world building just in games in general. Like, there's so
typically, like they've had simple stories, but they've had pretty good ones, all things considered.
Well, world building is, different to like story and stuff like that, but
I think they kind of coincide. I'm gonna be real. I think they kind of coincide.
They coincide, but I do kind of see Connor's point, because like the storytelling, or just overall what the story is trying to tell you, is a bit different than just interacting with the world, which especially in a medium like a video game will matter a lot more when you're interacting with that world a lot more as a person in it than just an observer.
It's also especially when coming off the heels of Breath of the Wild, the fact that world building is not as good as the first game is just really disappointing, because again, Breath of the Wild has such great world building.
That ended, like, I'm gonna be real, there's so many cool things they could have done, especially with like Ganondorf returning, because like there's some stuff in like Breath of the Wild as well as like, oh hey, you can hear the bitch from Skyward Sword like in the Master Sword, like she's still there after all that time. Maybe that'll be expanded upon, especially with like the Master Sword breaking in Tears of the Kingdom.
No.
It's crazy because like Nintendo puts like ever since Skyward Sword, they put a really big emphasis on this like idea of the Zelda timeline. Like they've released like 3 versions of the timeline on like the official Zelda handbook, and they're so insistent upon it too. Like like in Breath of the Wild, that one cutscene I know we're thinking about it when it references Fi from Skyward Sword. I'm like, they're big about this. So like I'm surprised they kind of just like didn't keep up with that in Tears of the Kingdom. Like literally the exact next game.
Yeah, they literally just made a whole separate timeline for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which like it's just so disappointing.
Yeah.
Brother.
Like
okay,
they just gave up. They gave up.
Like, I get it. Like, the Zelda series is an anthology series, so, like, the idea is that you can play whichever one you want. It's the same tale, but told through different, different regions and different, like, eras of time, but, the narrative is relatively the same. I get that's the point, but it's like, come on, bro, I want some consistency here.
Yeah, it's like I understand why they're separate because like Breath of the Wild references like stuff from all three of the timelines, and so does Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, for God's sakes, in Breath of the Wild and this game as well, you literally get like Ravio's like rabbit hood, Midna's helmet, and stuff like that. You get all these like items that literally just couldn't exist in the same timeline. So I get why they did that, but so little disappointing.
Yeah, definitely.
It just feels like such a, like, I guess I know we wouldn't be as, like, disappointed if it wasn't just such a cop-out.
That's the big issue, is that it's like here, damn. Like that's literally like what it feels like.
Yeah, well, especially because I think too, following off of Breath of the Wild, like Breath of the Wild wasn't like the most amazing story ever told, but there was interesting stuff there, especially with, like, you know, Link getting put to nap time for like 100 years and then waking up later, and now we're having to follow up after that.
Yeah.
But what we got instead was, all right, guys, Secret Stones, Demon King, Psycho Mantis.
Psycho Mantis.
Wait, wrong game.
Yeah, no.
I mean, okay. I know, like, Breath of the Wild story wasn't the strongest. I know people had certain complaints about this, but fuck it. Here is what my opinion is. I think the memories are very fun, and I think they're really good in Breath of the Wild, especially when you, like, think about them in order in the context of Zelda's character growth and what Link means to her. I think it's awesome, and I just don't feel that as much with Tears of the Kingdom, even though it's not even the worst.
Well, it's kind of crazy because like they do have some good elements, like the Dragon Tears quest. I remember when me and Guy did that because like we were both like hanging out when we did the quest with each other, and like the end of the Dragon Tears like quest line, that was really good. Like that was actually kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Why didn't the rest of the game do that?
Yeah, no.
One of the best cutscenes in the whole series. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, especially for like Zelda's character at that point too, because like Zelda, like compared to a lot of the older games, like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild Zelda is probably the best Zelda we've gotten, like as a pure character and not just a damsel in distress.
I very much agree. I want more games with Zelda not being the person to be rescued, and Zelda being more of like a, I mean,
go play Echoes of Wisdom.
I was just about to say Echoes of Wisdom.
Okay, but like in Skyward Sword, she isn't really a damsel either. She's just like on her own mission, and I like that a lot. I thought that was really cool. In this game,
Yeah, because Link is trying to follow her throughout the entire game. I remember that.
yes, I think it's a lot cooler where like they're both doing their own thing. In Breath of the Wild, she is just, you have to save her. In Tears of the Kingdom, though, I love the Zelda storyline because we get several different avenues of Zelda storyline. We get fake Zelda storyline. We get past Zelda storyline with the Tears. And then we get that's big spoiler.
Present Zelda.
big spoiler, but present Zelda, who I've said big spoiler 3 times now, so I'm gonna say it.
Maybe just say for the like big spoiler section, like just all the spoiler things we want to say.
Okay, then big spoiler, present Zelda.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, it's kind of scary because she's British. I know, terrifying, but it is I think it's a very cool interpretation of Zelda. I like seeing her. I like seeing the memories or the tears and all that. Like, it was cool seeing her characterization being more than just stereotypical princess needs saving type deal.
Yeah,
I think it's the thing. I love a lot of these characters, which is why I'm so frustrated with the story, because I'm like, these are such good characters. I wish they were just placed into better stories that had more than just Secret Stone Demon King for dialogue.
Psycho.
Because like Zelda is capable of having complex story, even
Yeah.
even without like the main character having spoken dialogue or like text dialogue. One of the two.
Arbitrary Liam Twilight Princess mention.
I wasn't going to say anything, but now that you mentioned it, Link in Twilight Princess is one of the most like expressive links that we get in terms of like just non-verbal storytelling. And this link is also great, more so in Breath of the Wild in this game because all the memories involve Link in that, and you can see Link being like super expressive. And because like the whole thing is Link is supposed to be stoic, but in Breath of the Wild he has very little memories, so he's just basically like a kid again, and I think that's incredibly cool. But in this and Tears of the Kingdom, he kind of becomes more of a blank slate again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
I know we've been on the story for a while now. I do want to say I want to go back to a little bit of gameplay for a minute because we did mention shrines in Breath of the Wild, but we didn't mention them in Tears of the Kingdom, and I think that's really funny.
Yeah. That night, there's some other mechanics we didn't mention as well, because like we mentioned the biggest ones with like fusing and then like the Ultra Hand as well, but there is also like reversing time.
We've
like
barely
reversing
mentioned
time.
Ultra Hand, and we didn't. We barely like we kind of skirted
mention,
around
like,
it. We didn't really talk about Zonai devices all that much either.
Well, we got into those a little
That's-
bit just
yeah.
with like Ultra Hand and stuff, but we can talk about them a little more now.
Because like it's kind of some, you have an entire tab in your inventory about them, so they are very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, that kind of leads us into the gameplay section. Similar to Breath of the Wild, one of the biggest thing that you're going to be doing in this game is solving puzzles in the overworld, maybe finding a few shrines, doing some side quest, while using the tools in your inventory that you have access to help you. Hooray!
Yay.
Who's excited to talk about shrines? Because I love the shrines in this game.
I'm excited because I know there's going to be one funny story we mentioned from one of my shrine experiences.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I hated it so. It sucks because I knew
But it
exactly.
worked.
It worked, and I hate that it worked because I was just like, bro, just do the thing. You're causing yourself so much trouble for no reason. You're like, it's gonna work, trust me.
But it worked,
I
and
guess
you
we
had to
should get
deal
into
with it. Yeah, because the shrines in this game are also, there's a lot more options, because while you can get creative in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom lets you be a lot more open with how you want to solve a puzzle, especially with like the Ultra Hand working into like where you can just like kind of build your solution a lot of times. That, or you can maybe think of some smart ways around it with like reversing as well, because I remember there were so many parts in the early game where you were supposed to like wait until you got a separate ability to like get up to a higher area. I would literally grab like some block, make it go up, down, jump on it, reverse time, and that's how I would like climb to a lot of higher areas, and it was so funny.
Rewind might be the most broken ability like in the Zelda series. Like I'm gonna be entirely honest.
Yeah, like I do kind of miss static just for like sending stuff 50 feet away by like hitting it a bunch, but rewind is definitely the better ability.
Bro has not played Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, Echoes of Wisdom. You get.
Oh
You do
yeah,
some
I
stupid stuff
forgot.
in
You
that
can
game.
just spawn anything. That game is okay. If we're gonna talk about any Zelda game that is a sandbox, it is 100% that game.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, but that's for that's for a different video.
Well, me and Connor have already done that video. Is the thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Which is why you should watch it.
bro, so much.
Hence why I said different video. But yeah, no. It's funny because the weekend that I think it was the weekend that Tears of the Kingdom came out? I forget. But Brew was at my house, and we were playing some Tears of the Kingdom because, why not? New Zelda game, haha. This game's awesome. Um, and oh my god, I hated the way Brewer played for the first 2 hours because he would spend so long in shrines. Like, by the time he'd get one done, I would have already gotten like 3 done. And I was like,
Oh,
Okay,
Brewer,
no, it's not
just.
that bad. There was literally like 2 shrines where I wanted to do
Well,
a funny
I mean,
solution.
I'm exaggerating, but it did take a while.
No, there's
guy.
this one where like you had to get a gate up, right? And also like having to rotate another part to lift the platform up so you could get to the end of the shrine and complete it. Now, instead of like hitting the switch, instead I use like the ultra hand to like manually kind of crank it and then reverse time in some areas to like get myself up to the top, and it was so funny.
So, Guy, what you're telling me is that you were recreating that one "quit having fun" image.
Yes, I was. Because I was like, hey, I was like, ooh, what you up to? And then he'd still be on the same shrine. I'm like, Brewer, dog, why are you here? He's like,
Hey,
I know a solution.
this was the developer's intention for me to be able to do that.
I had a very similar experience where there was one where it's one of the classic Zelda Wild era games where there's ball and you have to get ball into ball hole, and you were supposed to use time reversal in order to do there's a piston below it and it would bounce it up, and you had to bounce it into the hole. Instead, I got a long piece of wood that was somewhere else in it, and I just kind of forced it into the hole, and then I just held it up there for long enough, and then I used the rewind ability and just held it in there for long enough for it to count as like good. And then I just went into the shrine and got my thing. I felt so smart afterwards.
So many broken things you can do with this game.
No, I feel like this game does really like know how to like tickle your balls and make you feel smart a lot of times.
Tickle your balls.
Yes,
Tickle your balls is
I know
a
what I said.
great way. That is only half the audience will understand that.
Well, considering I did use balls a lot of times to solve the puzzles, I mean, it is accurate because those explodey balls were pretty fun to use.
Makes your balls explode.
Makes your balls explode.
Now, what I like doing sometimes is I would like grab a bokoblin weapon after making them drop it with like a shock, attach one of the explodey balls, subsequently like activate it, let them pick it back up, and it would explode while they were trying to attack me.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
Basically,
That
just
is awesome.
taping a grenade to my enemy's weapons so they can't use it.
This game is one of the now thinking about it, like especially gameplay wise, it is one of the funniest games out there because there's so much you can do, and like I know I keep saying it, but like genuinely you can break this game in so many different ways, intentional and non-intentional. Like it's, oh my god.
I mean, like we said in the first part of the video, you can build Godzilla. Like,
I don't think the developers intended this one, but there's a clip out there of someone making a torture device for the Bokoblins where he like had them by the neck and then just started spanking them with a device.
oh, I saw that.
Like it's some kinky shit, dude.
Me spanking the
But it's so
Bokoblins because
funny.
I'm bored.
But don't forget the crucified Koroks.
Ah, yes, I love committing several war crimes in order to appease my own hatred of Korak seeds.
Yeah, because they're awful. I hate them.
Yes, Zelda, this is a very necessary part of the quest, so I can save
Zelda,
the world.
you're gonna have to wait a little bit. I must burn these Koraks to the ground.
I must commit atrocities.
But
Man, if Steel was better.
you don't understand. I must get Hateno cheese so I can make pizza. It's important to the quest.
Ah, man.
My Man of Steel comment, that's an inside joke between me and Liam. Don't worry about it. Oh god. But yeah, no. It's just it's so fun. Like just going around and just like applying so many different like I won't say logic and like ways of thinking. Because also one of the underrated parts about this game, like gameplay wise and exploration, I want to bring up is I love the Terry reconstruction company, and you have to like get the sign up. You have to like make sure it can stay up by itself using whatever contraptions are around you. And there's so many different applications for that, and I love it. It's simple, but I love it because they're all different, and they give you a reward for each time doing it. But each thing is different than the other, which means you have to apply different ways of thinking, and that's so cool.
Well, I feel like they're also like an underrated method for like kind of teaching players by like letting them do it themselves on like how you can use the Ultra Hand and like fusion abilities to just like build contraptions yourself. It's like you wouldn't think that putting 10 boulders around this sign to get it to stay up straight would help you learn how to build a mechanism, but it's kind of like teaching that in your mind. Like, okay, so this is how the mechanic works. I can like glue this to this at this angle, and then it'll probably drop this way. It's a good way of like teaching the player without telling them.
Yeah, show don't tell.
Yeah.
Well, they're telling me to get this signpost up, so I don't know how that relates. I'm kidding, I get it.
What it relates to is I'm gonna put you in that Bokoblin torture device and have you spanked next.
Oh yes, please. I mean, no, don't do that, please.
You know, you're right. Crucifix is better for you.
The
Probably.
power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
To spank a Bokoblin.
Oh lord.
I think someone actually did that of like putting a Korok on a cross.
No, yeah, we've talked about that multiple times now.
Oh, I must have zoned out.
It's
My bad.
we're talking about crucifying the Koroks.
Yeah, I must have just zoned out. My B.
And it's awesome because that's what a sequel should be. You should be able to take something you hate in the first game and then commit war
Crucify
crimes
it.
against it, and then commit war crimes against them.
Every sequel should strive to do this.
Like that's why God of War Ragnarok isn't as good as God of War, is because you can't you can't crucify the 38 Odin's crows.
Liam, I actually cannot believe you used that as an example, because when you said all sequels should strive to do that, or a good sequel should, I immediately thought of God of War Ragnarok, and I was like, oh god, I don't think there's an example for that. I actually was thinking that. That's crazy.
And then I've reminded you of the stupid crows in God of War 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Okay, to be fair though, they're a lot better than Ragnarok. But that's for a different episode. Yeah.
I was making a
If
I
only
was making a
Pikmin
joke.
3 allowed me to crucify that stupid dumbbell treasure from Pikmin 2.
So fucking true, dude.
But yeah, I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is a very ambitious sequel because they tried to change a lot of fundamental aspects of the game in a way that like it's not so much of an evolution and more of like a branching path, because Tears of the Kingdom is a lot more like, I'd say it's one of the games with like the highest freedom of expression. Like it's no Minecraft in terms of freedom of expression, but you can play that game in almost like in so many different ways. Some people don't even register horses because they'd rather make Zonai devices. Like it's just there's definitely an entire aspect of the game that I will have missed, that Connor missed, that Brewer missed, that Guy missed, because we all played the game. Actually, Connor not really, because Connor 100%ed it. But like there are parts of the game that we gravitated towards that everybody else in this group didn't gravitate towards. Like I will admit, when I did the Underdark, I didn't enjoy it that much. So my way of rectifying that was I just built the hover bike, which is like one of like a community made transportation, which is like very easy to build, very versatile. And then I just stuck a big bright bloom seed to illuminate the Underdark and just started flying to each light route to make exploration easier down there, because as the name implies, it was dark. And it wasn't the most fun, but I did it. I got every light route in the game for some reason. But this game is very much different from Breath of the Wild fundamentally in a lot of ways, but not in a bad way. It was just, I don't think it was what and most people thought the direction of the series would go from Breath of the Wild, was to big sandbox.
Yeah. It's weird because, like, for how similar it is to Breath of the Wild, it's also just so different, which, I mean, it makes sense for something nominated for Game of the Year. Like, yeah, it did something right, but it's still so weird because it is literally the same map for the regular overworld, minus, like, minus some changes.
We'll say this. I don't know how much people agree with me on this. I don't think it's a bad thing per se, but I do look at this game instead of like like it is a sequel, but it's more like a Breath of the Wild 1.5 to me.
I wouldn't say it's 1.5, especially because, like, for the amount of new shrines alone, then, like, the Sky Islands and the new dungeons, like, okay, yeah, that alone, this is new, but I definitely see where you're coming from if, like, it's 1.5.
Yeah, it's like, 4 dungeons in the story. The final boss is optional. There are over 100 shrines. You need to do the shrines to increase your stamina and your hearts. The mechanics are the exact same, like physics-wise. Same map. Woo!
Wait,
Yeah,
final
I
boss
think
is optional?
that's honestly my.
Not final boss. The story bosses.
Okay, I was about to say, it's like, what do you mean the final boss is optional?
Sorry. I was thinking you can do, like, in my brain I was thinking you can do the final boss story stuff, like the story dungeons that aren't the final, like, section of the game is optional.
I mean, in full fairness,
That's
like,
what I meant to say.
Breath of the Wild was the same there as well, but more so, like, who the hell is going to do that besides a speedrunner? Like, if we're going to be real.
I don't know. Who knows? Probably someone we know rhymes with Bob. If he were to finish the game, he would probably do it that way.
Yeah, but for the average player, no. But I think most casual players are going to do all 4 main areas before they complete it.
Yeah, it is a similar format in terms of story. This is such a polarizing game for me, so I don't really know where exactly to go, because I absolutely love this game, but man, do I know it could have been better.
It's like,
yeah.
I know we've been like pretty negative throughout this video, but at least for me, it's like it's that thing of like, this game had so much like
Potential, man.
I was
Potential,
gonna say,
man.
it's really a potential, man, of like, it had so much that it could build off of and so much it could do with the idea of a Breath of the Wild sequel. And it kind of feels like it floundered a lot of that potential.
Okay, because I still loved this game. I was the last person here to beat it because I did just get really burnt out because I put like 80 hours in a month, which is
Man,
not normal.
Connor's sitting over here is like, weak, pathetic.
Yeah, I know. I still absolutely love and adore this game. It is one of those games where my expectations were through the roof, and they didn't remove. Like, if this had been a standalone game and there wasn't a Breath of the Wild to compare it to, I would have called this game like one of the best games ever made, an absolute masterpiece in every single aspect. But because I have something to compare it to, I don't think it is. For me, the game even the game itself, I have more flaws than I think Brewer or Guy do. probably, because I still loved this game, and I still think that is a must play for anybody. Like, it is honestly one of the main reasons I would buy a Switch 2 is for the Switch 2 edition of Tears of the Kingdom. Besides like DK Bonanza and all that, Tears of the Kingdom is
Kirby Air Riders.
Fake Kirby Air Riders fan.
Listen, I don't own the game. I don't own the console, so it wasn't in my mind.
None of us own the game yet. It's not out. As of
Buy
this
a
recording.
Switch 2. Go into debt to get a Switch 2.
I will
Do
not
it for
be doing
Kirby.
that. I am trying to leave the country. Not just for fun. Oh,
He's
but
gonna leave the country for a
wait.
Switch 2.
If I leave the country, I need something to enjoy on the plane ride, and what would be better than a Switch 2?
With Kirby Air Riders and Donkey Kong Bonanza and the
Yeah.
Switch 2 version of Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
But as a sequel, I do think Tears of the Kingdom is not the same as Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild does a good amount of things better, and I will forever love Tears of the Kingdom. I think the ending fight sequence is one of the best ending sequences in a video game. Frankly, it's cinematic. There's some difficulty to it actually. I was not expecting it. It is beautiful, and the ending is just I absolutely love it. It's just that my hour-to-hour gameplay experience was very volatile. I'd either be having a lot of fun, or I'd be going through a slog. And in a very big game, that game took me 130 hours to beat, I think. I'd say that I enjoyed most of it, but I had hours upon hours where I was just I'd rather play something else. And it's personal for me. Personally, I love the older format of Zelda games, and I will always probably like those format of Zelda games more. And this game was awesome, but it's not my favorite. And that is my piece. Goodbye. Or not goodbye. I'm done.
Yeah, I guess that's your concluding point.
So I said, hold on.
Listen,
Yeah,
we're getting close. We're getting close.
Yep. I think with Tears of the Kingdom, for a lot of people, it's not about what it did. It's just about some of the stuff it didn't do. Because I enjoyed every second of this game. It was fantastic, but it does definitely have some hiccups. That in parts where I'm man, because especially Sky Islands, this is a big one. Well, mostly just the areas aren't big.
Underdark.
We'll get to that, Liam. But the Sky Islands, other than the first initial one, the rest of them are pretty small, or they're mostly based around one challenge or one single thing to do on them, which is just kind of disappointing because you're imagining all this new area to explore with the Sky Islands, which is what they advertised, but there's just they're kind of sparse, if I'm gonna be real. And I did enjoy all the ones I found, but there was still that kind of lingering thing in my mind of man, I kind of hope I get to find that next big one, the tutorial area. But you just don't really see that.
Yeah, here's the thing. I do love this game a lot, but I will agree that I do wish there was more. The primary, where most of the content is going to be in the normal map. I want to say the overworld, where the rest of Hyrule is. The main issue for me is that because it literally is the same map of Breath of the Wild with a few Tears of the Kingdom changes, unfortunately, I just knew where most of the shit was, and it just felt like I wasn't playing through that much of a different game. It is different. It is very different in some aspects, but it is also just I've seen this Hyrule before. I knew that there had to be something where the Great Plateau Shrine was, the Shrine of Awakening, where Link starts off in Breath of the Wild. Come on, I knew there had to be something there, but it's because of that, I felt like I wasn't exploring anything all too new. so that when the Sky Islands, when I did explore them, I felt so happy because I was like, oh my god, this is new content, this is stuff they've made for the game. And which, to be fair, all the Sky Islands are great, I love them, but there's just not enough of them, and I wish there were, which is crazy because there are 2 dungeons, like dedicated dungeons that take place on the Sky Islands.
Yeah. No, again, this game did a lot good. It's just, I wish there was a little more. I think that's why, because they've mentioned before in like interviews, they're probably going to keep continuing with this type of Zelda game, that like whatever entry they do next is like separated from the Breath of the Wild and the Tears of the Kingdom Hyrule, like kind of just a fresh new one. Because I think that would be best of both worlds, like very much new map with a lot of the mechanics that made us love Tears of the Kingdom so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your opinion on this, Conroy?
On Tears of the Kingdom?
Oh no, just like on the main complaints of the game, where it's just like people like it's some issues, because I know we have mostly about Sky Islands. I know we were talking about that for a second. I'm just curious. I want to hear you. They're a pretty voice, Connor.
No.
Dang, already cheating on Liam.
Yeah, you guys just were getting back together. That's really sad. I think it's hard to put in, because like I think this, as I've said, this game has really missed potential. And I think a big part of that is the Sky Islands, because like as you guys said, this was marketed as like the thing, like the big reason to get the game. This is what's new. This is what's different. And then they're just like, there's like very few of them. Like, yeah, they have cool puzzles and stuff like that, but it's like, you know, I guess I was thinking like these Sky Islands would have like the same level of like care put into them as like almost like the map of Hyrule. Not to the exact extent, but like, you know, there'd be like a lot more of them and a lot more things to do, but it's just so sparse and so little of the game, especially compared to like the underground and stuff like that. It's really, honestly, the best way I could put it is like it's disappointing, and I think it's a very valid complaint, because it's also a complaint I have.
Yeah, which
I
is
think
it's
having
still
that, like,
so weird. It's so weird to say about a game that like all of us put over 100 hours into, and that a lot of people did in general. Because again, it's not like we hate the game. This game is so much fun. All the new mechanics do make it worth it to like. Okay, yeah, it's the same map, but they still did enough to where I keep wanting to re-explore it again with all these new mechanics. It's just that like, man, I wish there was just a bit more to chew on.
Yeah, no, I have the exact same thought process, because it's like, again, like, playing devil's advocate against my own point here, it is like sure, you are re-exploring the whole, like, the map again, but you do have new abilities and whatnot, so the way you explore is going to be completely different compared to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's weird. And also to go on your point, Connor, I don't think it's not I think it's a fair like expectation to like want the Sky Islands to be like just as developed or like just as neatly packed as like the main part of the game, because like this game has been in development for 6 years.
Yeah, it's just really like I don't know if you guys remember this. About, I want to say maybe like a month or two ago, there was this like chart I found, or one of us found online, that was like, oh, it was like a category of like, put your game here, and it was like best story, best blah blah blah. There's one.
Oh yeah, no, was it the 5x5? I know what you're talking about, the 5x5.
Yeah. The 5x5, yeah. And it was like biggest letdown, and I genuinely think that's what this game for me is, which is crazy because I think it's still really, it's great. Like, it's still a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it. Like, but I consider Breath of the Wild like a 10 out of 10 game. Like, genuinely, it's one of my favorite games of all time. And I'm gonna be honest, Tears of the Kingdom's like an 8 for me.
Really?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know what you guys think of it either, but it's like, I was just so, like, at the end of it and I thought about it, I was just so let down, because like I had been
very high 9 for me.
Yeah. Liam and Brewer, what is it for you guys, so we can just get this out of the way?
It's at least a 9. Like, even for the issues I have with it, for how much pure joy I had playing the game, I ain't giving it an 8.
8.5.
Yeah. I will say, I definitely think a big part of that is just the slog that was 100%ing with it for me. Because
I
I
was about
do
to say
think
you have a
Yeah,
different
no, I was about to say, I
perspective.
think part of
100% in
is
games is
Connor
completely
issue.
just playing. It's 100% in games are completely different from like actually playing them. Like it is like especially games like Tears of the Kingdom. It's a monster, man.
why did you do it?
Because I had 100% at Breath of the Wild, and I had it was like, I guess it was like closing the end of an era is the best way to put it. Because I played Breath of the Wild was my first ever Zelda game, and so it was like a more of an emotional thing, you know.
I just want to imagine you're gassing yourself up in your mind to collect hundreds of pieces of literal shit.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it's definitely
Come on, Connor. We gotta do this for Daddy. Breath of the Wild.
I would really, I wish we had the technology to do this and the funding. I would really like to just connect like something to Connor's brain without him knowing, and then like I want to see how much, like I want to see his dopamine levels each time he collects a Korok seed, and I want to see that like that like peak of dopamine hit like gradually go down in a slope the more he collects, and I just want to see, I want to see the sharp spike near the end where he gets to 1,000, then the immediate drop off and the realization that wow, it's really just nothing.
Yeah, no, instead of getting dopamine hate, he just gets actual anger at some point.
All
I'm
dopamine is
gonna be
gone.
honest,
It's just anger.
there was the only time I probably ever got dopamine from that was from collecting the last one because it meant I was done. But yeah, I think it's like maybe an 8.5 on like a good day, but I just have a lot of problems with it, especially because like I was so hyped for this game. I remember like freaking out and going crazy over like the reveal trailers and stuff for that, and being like, this is gonna be like one of the best Zelda games of all time. This is gonna like, it's gonna do so much, and then it was just a really
It's gonna
great
suck
game.
my dick. It's gonna fuck my wife. It's gonna raise my kids for me. It's gonna be awesome.
It was gonna be this like I was disappointed because I was like, I mean it's great, but like it's not. I don't think it's anywhere close to Breath of the Wild. And I will admit this game does improve on stuff. I think there are definitely things this game improves upon from Breath of the Wild, but at the end of the day, I'd still rather replay Breath of the Wild than ever replay this game.
I definitely wouldn't agree with that part. That does make me think of one thing. I've asked this question to all of us before a lot, and just like how different would our perspectives be if we played this game without having any knowledge of Breath of the Wild? Because I mean, like, Guy's kind of doing that little experiment right now, making his little child labor brother play Tears of the Kingdom before Breath of the Wild to kind of see what
Yeah,
he
That is
thinks.
what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm kind of curious if we could like erase both of the games from our head, and instead of starting at Breath of the Wild, if we started at Tears of the Kingdom, how different would our opinions be when everything is new? Because
I think that kind of like
that's mostly the basis of like the issues what people have with Tears of the Kingdom. Mostly comes down to what it took from Breath of the Wild,
Oh, not
and
me.
also some of the stuff it didn't do.
Not me at all.
I was kind of
I would still give it.
That was-
I would still give it an 8. Maybe 8.5. Maybe a 9. But I have fundamental problems with the game.
You
Yeah,
have to
I'm
be in
on
the
the same
mood.
boat as well.
I'm gonna list 2 examples. Half
Let
the
me guess,
shrines.
Underground.
Yeah, Underground is one of them. Half the shrines are Raru's Blessing. So even though there are more shrines in this game, there's actually less interesting shrines than in Breath of the Wild. I know that's a comparison, and I shouldn't compare it, but like a good, I forget how many exactly how many shrines it is, and I know some of them are after like long puzzles, but getting
It's like over 100.
Raru's
Where's blessings? I think it's like 40 of them.
yeah,
It's like a third.
it's a lot. There are a lot of Raru's Blessing shrines, and I'm not a big fan of them because it's just the same thing over and over and over again of just go in, get the reward, leave. And
Yeah, I
of
mean,
course,
in full fairness with
I
those,
think I do think the Underdark is just really empty most of the time, and the places that have something is just the same thing repeated over and over again.
yeah, I will say for the Rory's Blessing one, in full fairness, there are some of them which are definitely is like, why did I just have to walk in here to get that? But I will say a fair amount of them do usually involve like some major quest outside of it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
That's
that all
basically
of
that
them,
shrine
but
puzzle.
just in Breath of the Wild, almost every shrine was different. There were like a couple repeats, but it was a lot less than the amount that were in Tears of the Kingdom. I just think, honestly, to be super succinct, this game is a lot more repetitive with a lot of its exploration than I would like.
It is repetitive, I will say that. But it is also just like it kind of depends on how you play the game. I understand the complaint because it is something I kind of share, but I also understand that it's just like a personal thing.
I mean, there's just a like again. I want to make this very clear. I still love this game, but you had the like a lot of the collectibles where if you wanted pose, you just had to run out and find them on like tops of trees or on the tops of like fortresses, which you'd have to get over and over. You had the Hudson signs, which you had to just. It was a slightly different puzzle each time, but it was very similar. They were fun for the first like 10 times, but there are like 50 of them. It was just,
but they were awesome.
It was just for me, specifically for me, the game was a lot more repetitive, and I felt like I was repeating things more often than I would have in another game. I felt like my time, for me, and it was my time didn't feel. I felt like there was a lot of time padding, and my time wasn't as valued in this game, with a lot of the grind that they want you to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
I will say this. What's up?
I'm just saying I agree with Liam here.
Okay, are you gonna Liam? Were you gonna say the grind about Zonai batteries?
That is part of it, and I know what you're gonna say. I know, like, I still did all of the boss fights, but the boss fights are the same 4 bosses 4 separate times. Like it's not a.
Wait, are you talking about the main dungeon bosses?
I'm talking, the main dungeon bosses in the depths.
Yeah, you could also just do the normal bosses in the depths, like the little frogs, guys.
Yes, it's just like I said, repetitive.
No, it is repetitive. That is 100%.
Like
I just okay.
It's also just I put 130 hours into the game, and I didn't even get halfway through the battery, despite doing most of the Underdark.
I don't understand that. I really don't, because I got that maxed out before like hour 100.
I don't get how, because you have to get all the green batteries, and then you have to get them all again to double the battery size.
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just goated.
Or maybe you're just misremembering. Both
I have a maxed out battery.
I think you got the first row of battery upgrades. I don't know if you got like the second one. When you did your battery, did it drain once and then drained again before it was completely out?
Yeah. No, I have the maxed out battery.
Yeah,
I don't. I know because there's unique dialogue if you max out your battery.
It was not a fun. I did not enjoy the energy wells. I just didn't. There was a good amount I did enjoy, and I'm gonna leave it there because I feel like I want to close up and be like I want to stop being negative about this game, because even though I do have a good amount of complaints, and that comes from high expectations, and I did not feel like my time was respected for some of the game, not a minority of the game, but still a good portion. It was a long game. I still enjoyed
that's why
most of the
Brewers.
game.
Yeah. See, that's the thing about the expectations is that like we have expectations because we've all played Breath of the Wild, one of the best games ever made, and yet like we have like this notion that like, oh, Breath of the Wild better because Breath of the Wild did this comparison, yada yada. But I do think Brewer's point is just like very interesting to think about, like just how different would our opinions be if this came out first. Like I'm actually really glad that my brothers are playing through Tears of the Kingdom first, because I really want to see what their initial response is going to be to Breath of the Wild when they have less. Because they're exploring Hyrule for the first time in Tears of the Kingdom, so I'm really curious.
I will reiterate this again, for me specifically. Most of my complaints are not about comparisons to Breath of the Wild. Most of my complaints are about the feeling of emptiness in this game, the time commitment to some of the collectibles, and generally I don't like how many of the shrines are the same, and I don't think that relates all that much, because I was completely fine with exploring the same Hyrule. I didn't feel, because they had all the caves, they had all the like, they had different mechanics in certain places. Like it was still different. I loved the side quests in this game a lot, more than Breath of the Wild. A good amount of them I think were more fun. So I don't think my place of not calling this a perfect game is for comparison to Breath of the Wild. I think it is, as a standalone game, I would still not give this a 10 out of 10.
No, I would
think
not
with
give
that,
this game a
though,
10.
especially since we are at the end, I think more so with our conclusions, let's leave just maybe a question up to the audience. Because I think we're both on sides, like me and Guy are on one side, and then Liam and Connor are on another, of like, did Tears of the Kingdom do enough right to be a proper sequel and just a great game? Or is it still just kind of fundamentally flawed at its core?
All right. And
I think that's the last like kind of open question I want to leave. Because for me still, like, even with all the stuff you guys brought up, the pure joy I got from this game, especially like being in the Sky Islands, jumping down, because like that's one part of the world exploring we didn't mention, just like jumping down from the Sky Island and seamlessly going to the overworld, and then also seamlessly traveling down to the underworld. Like that's just kind of something that's been unmatched for me in a lot of games when it comes to exploration. Just being able to do that, which was really impressive considering it's also on the Switch 1, you know? It's like, damn, this game needed that Switch 2 version.
I will say this, one thing I do want to say before we hop off. I do love this game a lot. It holds a very special place to me. I'm very, like, this helped me, like, with my friendship with you guys. Like, I all have memories with all three of you, actually, from this game. Brewer and Connor, I know we went to Connor's graduation party, and while we were there, we played Tears of the Kingdom, and it was awesome.
Dude, the whole release around Tears of the Kingdom was so funny, especially because, like, I wanted to mention this earlier, but like again, I pre-ordered the game 3 times. Not even including technically the 4th time, because like the collector's edition was really hard to get for the game, so I ordered one for me, and then one for Guy, who also wanted one. But then I also pre-ordered it from GameStop, so I could get its pre-order bonus and play it at midnight. And then on top of that, because I was ordering the controller from Best Buy, because it was also hard to find, I just went and pre-ordered the game there as well, so I could get that bonus as well. That I just returned the game later.
I know we were going to see each other like that weekend that it came out, but I was wanting to play it so bad, so insatiably bad, that I went to the midnight release just to get the game early, because you got the collector's edition for me and you were going to give it to me, but I couldn't play it because I had to wait till Saturday, and I was like, all right, I want to play this game so incredibly bad. I'm going to go to the midnight release. That was the first midnight release for a video game I've ever been to. It was awesome.
Yeah,
There
no,
was a stormtrooper
it was
there.
definitely awesome because they don't really do them too often anymore.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, but it was funny because I remember we went to the the GameStop manager that we know in your area, and literally the day it released, we were both like, we would like to return Tears of the Kingdom. This game is awful.
And he just looked at us with like disgust. It was awesome.
It was so funny. Oh man.
That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I think with those fun stories though, we are at that point, so if you guys, I know it's a bit of a long episode viewer, but if you've watched at this point, thank you very much for watching. And if you did enjoy this content, please make sure to like and subscribe and maybe comment. Let us know your thoughts on Tears of the Kingdom. Would you lean more towards Liam and Connor's side, or maybe towards me and Guy's side?
If you don't choose me and Liam's side, I'm killing you.
Don't mess with the man who's collected all the Korok seeds. He's seen true war.
I think we lost Guy to the gloom, but it is okay because we will defeat the Demon Lord in his place and end this episode.
Yeah, but with that, thank you for watching, everybody. We've been Fetch West. You having a good night now.
Good
Goodbye.
night.
Good night.